Hello and welcome everyone. Good to have you here again. Welcome to my Noble Pursuits stream, which is really just me doing some drawing, but it's always fun to draw and to spend time with y'all. I hope you've all been well. I hope it's been a fun 4th of July week. And if you're out of the country or don't have anything to do with Treason Day, well, that's cool too. I hope it's been a good one. So I've got some hi-hos to everybody in the chat, starting with Enderpup and Swordbreaker12, who asks, have you got a video? Yes, we've got a video. There's also been quite a bit of booping before the stream started, so I deliver a boop unto you all. Triflapelli Official, Adam Leisman, and Pokemon Fire Eevee, and hello, Mad Munchkin, it's good to see you here. Komodo Steel and MLP Trinary, who has taken the reign as comic reviewer and writer for Equestria Daily. Oh, glad to have you here. And moving in line, we have Elizabeth Snowbell and Champ to Stay. Cosmena Inspira, hello. And let's see, who else has popped in on the chat? There's always like a little delay because we have Zapstride Gaming and Kaleja Anderson and Nathan Duazo, Rodan, and over on Le Twitchy Twitch, pardon me, we have to Pig Boss 99. Good evening. Uh-oh. Enderpup is dealing... Uh-oh. Double uh-oh. Apparently, Enderpup has suffered a power outage. And so, it may not be able to keep track of all my Let's See Here's tonights. But, well, I'm glad to see y'all, and, well, everyone can count Let's See Here's on their own if they wish. Only if they wish. Now, part of, I saw some questions right off the bat, including, where would I live if I went to live in Equestria? So, as far as I'm aware, before the big collapse, this was the most complete map we had of Equestria. Just shy of whatever the, I guess, what did the map in the map room say? Screenshot map. Yes, my second offer here is the map of Equestria. But that doesn't look as good as I thought it might. Maps. That's the cutie remark. Nope. Oh no, it's the cutie map. There we are. There's a more officious looking. So let's try to compare. This might be interesting to see where we're at. Because here's an Aramosby skull on top of mountains. I'm going to assume that's... Well, no, Griffin's Stone was elsewhere. Or was it? I can't be totally sure. Okay, so Griffin's Stone, or at least Aramosby skull, right there. Next up, Little Cacti Desert. I don't see a Little Cacti Desert, although I do see what appears to be Appaloosa? No, that's the Rock Farm. So what's all these then? Because I remember a bunch of giant mushrooms. Yep, there they are, over here in this neck of the woods. With a unique looking castle over there. I don't see the unique looking castle. How curious. Curiosity. I want to know what's over here. So, you know what? I'd live over here just to figure it out. little chain of a little archipelago of islands over there? Maybe? Maybe? Anybody? Archipelago? There's no archipelago. But there's Griffinstone. So I was wrong. This can't be Griffinstone. Griffinstone's over here. But no sign of the Griffinstone. I do not know what I am beholding. What am I beholding? This is a world map, clearly. Not just any map. Okay. Well, for the time being, I'm going to say I want to find out what's on this continent. So if I have to live in Equestria, which would be the center landmass, I would say I'd live on this edge so I could take the archipelago, 1, 2, 3, 4, boop, into the unknown. That is what I would do. And I may or may not live to tell the tale. And yes, to Pig Boss, it might be the Mushroom Hill Zone. In which case, I'm pretty sure Sega would get on my case. JT Wusky fan, welcome. I probably do remember the Six Flags ad campaign with the song We Like to Party. Is that where the guy in massive makeup that looked like an elderly man is doing the big old dance? Da, 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 da. I do not know. But I remember that quite fondly. Alrighty. So, noble pursuits, i.e., got to talk with my friend Jakob von Dokar and realized I left his character rather naked. Ooh. How forceful. But we are going to correct this mistake by continuing his design. And then, time allowing, I shall use my hippogriff base to create a character who I assume is named Aurora, for that is the amulet of Aurora around her neck. Uh-oh, Nathan Duazo, why are you angry at Pinkie and Magpie Pony? Did the latest Pinkie Pie tales cause some measure of disgruntlement? That's a fun word, but it begs a question. If one could be disgruntled, is it possible to just be a gruntled? Oh, and we've got some Mary Drake both. Oh, well. Okay, yes, I see a little bit of your typo on Griffins, but I saw it. In fact, the eyes play tricks, because I could have sworn you wrote Griffin one way. I've never been quite clear on if it's Griffin with an I-N or Griff-on. O-N. Guess it depends on where you're from. Well, Rodan, what does gruntled mean? I'm going with the assumption if you're disgruntled, i.e. you're angry, you're irritable, you're just not having a good time. Gruntled, lose the dis, would mean that you're in a very happy place, that you are calm and satisfied and enjoying all these good things, what. And so it would be gruntlement. Now, truth be told, my family has talked about this before, because our second golden retriever, Shay, Blaze was our first. Shay could be gruntled. If you petted him in just the right way, in just the right setting, maybe on the cool of the floor, he would start essentially purring. You just go this, and he'd keep going. And you knew at that moment it was the perfect contentment, and we called it gruntlement. But the English language is strange. It has not clarified a difference. As far as I know, gruntled is not recognized as an actual word, but disgruntled is. If you can make sense of that, I shall applaud you, for you are able to understand the English language better than I. I speak 2 languages, bad English and high school Spanish. Now then. So I'm working, but really I should be turning on Pretzel. Oh, hello, Blue Griffin. Good to see you. Welcome on Fire Evie. You're saying that gruntled does not mean happiness? Well, let's see here. Gruntled plus often informal, often humorous. I'm surprised Merriam-Webster defines it. In good humor, happy, content. Yeah, that sounds like what I was going for. Well, either which way. Let me turn on Pretzel so we can have just some good music to go with this. But once again, I shall need everyone's feedback on how this balances out. All right, Pretzel rocks. Let's talk. Give me your good stuff. Head bopping lo-fi, chill EDM. Let's try some head bopping. Alrighty, I've tuned it up. Making sure everybody can hear me. So let me know if this music is just too much, too little. The English language was made by a practical joker. Rodin is sure of it. You know, that is a very likely outcome and a very understandable deduction. I do not know if anyone could contrast that. Surely a gesture or two has had an influence on the ridiculousness. And I should be quite cross at that gesture, but I just can't stay mad at a joker. Not the Joker, though. That guy's got issues. Well, pardon me. I may cough a bit this session. I have been to the Colorado Fan Expo today, where I got to see a lot of people, but when you're in a large space with air conditioning going in full, a lot of particles in the air. I don't think I've caught con crud, but I'm going to be watching myself for the next few days. Music is a little quiet. Okay. Mary Drake points out it's an the Joker having issues is an understatement highly detected. It's true. Oh yeah. I updated my computer recently. Edit keyboard. Where are my keyboard shortcuts? Performance, file handling, clipboard handling. Come on. Help, keyboard. What is going on? Keyboard? That sounds like a member of the party who has a keytar. Tools, outline. Well, now what? Oh, you're making me do object path. Outline stroke. Okay. Why was that not coming up? It's not in tools, that's why. Outline strokes. We're going to go with Command-Alt-U. For no other reason than that's what I used in the past. Tim keyboard. That's right. And we'll just fill it with this. Who's this griffin? Asks Blue Griffin. Who, as Maddie points out, is Blue Griffin spells it Gryphon, which is the traditional Western European spelling. Griffin, Grfin, is more an American tale. Or Griffon, O-N. Oh, and I've learned this. Try to go, when trying to create a darker color, go down and over. Go for an L, maybe a little darker. Okay, I'm saying right now, this chill is maybe a little too chill. It's like you don't play smooth jazz for a workout routine. Let's try something else, because this is not working. Trinera would like to know, first of all, he's spoiling me rotten again, but would also like to know, what am I going to be talking about at Everfree Northwest, because I intend to be at Everfree Northwest. I have submitted, but I haven't heard anything just yet. I have put in for a review of The Ticketmaster. And seeing that really what I consider to be the true introduction of all the characters. Friendship is Magic's part 1 and 2 got us going on the world and really introduced, but now we get to see these characters outside the threat of Nightmare Moon. This is sort of an introduction to a day in the life. Kinda. Alrighty, so we've sashed this, dear fella, but now Jakob von Tokar's OC requires quite the heraldry. I wonder what this is based on. Same color as the robe, that's good, or the sash, that's good to know. But a little bit more. Whoops. There we go. Okay, I'm giving this music just a little bit more time to develop something. Huh. Griffin, I hadn't seen that episode of Rocko's Modern Life, but it is, I bet I could look up the trope of, there's only one, and the group must contend with it. Honestly, I feel like it's an example of the tyrant philosophy, that power is limited there, and if I don't get it, if I don't have it, no one else will. Well, if I don't have it, no one else can. But I don't know if that really applies. I've got to look at the episode and look at the trope surrounding it. The music is still very quiet. Hey, ha. All right, first off, we're going to boost it a little. Too much. But maybe too chill. A little too low. Let's see. How about happy? Happy music. Okay, this music actually sounds like a news program. This is Silver-Quill bringing you the latest information from Equestria. Good night and good luck. But, well, I don't know how everyone's been doing this past week. It's been a little hard for me. Partly because I've been trying to help out a lot of buds with problems, but also partly because I need to stop following the news on politics, because after that disastrous debate night, I don't normally want to talk politics, but I'll just say that debate night left me feeling very scared for the future and very disappointed that we're at this point, at this state. So I could use some happy music, even if it's going, Also, I wish you all a very happy July 5th. That is National Graham Cracker Day. It is also Comic Sans Day. Comic Sans is probably the most one of the most ridiculed fonts in the world. And yet, it gave rise to one of the most beloved skeleton punsters you can think of. And if you can think of more than one skeletal punster, you have had an interesting entertainment life. I salute you. Anyway, back to the pepper. Oh, yeah. Let's see, how are folks doing? They've been swamped with work due to the 4th of July. Yep, I can see how that... Everybody taking a day off means you have to work even harder on the other days. I'm not sure if that's really how a day off is supposed to work. If you're overly exhausted from trying to make up for that work, that day off, then really you're not able to enjoy the day. What madness. There you go. This music's more my pace. That's right, Maddie's got the idea. Ponies. You like them? Discuss. All right. Let's actually talk Skyros, the seeming home of alicorns in general. Celestia and Luna came from there, but did not return. I find that quite telling. Is Skyros a good place to be? A bad place? I don't know. But when they kicked out Opaline, they sent her to Equestria, which caused no end of trouble. I get that that's somewhat karmic, given how Star Swirl kept using the Equestria Girls area as a dumping ground for exiles. But I don't think Twilight and Company did anything wrong to warrant that infliction. Although between you and me, Opaline never... I liked Opaline as a character, as a somewhat comedic antagonist, but she never struck me as anyone who could equal Twilight and friends in power. Mayhap she was far enough in the past just after Twilight's friends had passed away. I don't know. Wow, I just took the dark places. Hi everyone. And that's how dark it is. This is Silver-Quill wishing you good night and good cry. Alright, delete that. Get this going. Here we go. Whoop. Now then, I need to lock this because I don't want to select it any further. Getting there. Seth Moss wonders, how was Flurry Heart's birth beyond the sisters' understanding? Simply put, alicorns weren't born in Equestria. Skyros appears to be an independent realm. And therefore, you wouldn't expect an alicorn to be born in Equestria. But that's not what happened. So, either alicorns are slowly becoming a part of the equestrian gene pool, or Destiny really had something big planned for Flurry. And I gotta say, everyone sort of rolls their eyes at the Destined Chosen One thing, but we use it a lot. And I think it's because simultaneously we want to know the impact such pressure would have on anyone's life. But also we want to, it kind of speaks to that wanting to know there is a purpose in life. That whatever happens, there's actually a plan in place. It also speaks that the world has some sense of justice or correction. Although there's also the Dark Twin. Well, if this character is destined to be a hero, was this other character destined to be a villain? Or is it that this person was meant to be better than they turned out, hence the world had to call on another to compensate? Rodan is arguing for self-realization and not relying on destiny. There we go. Whoop. Blue Griffin says, the more they watch G5, the more it's a separate continuity from G4. Including Spike's redesign and the fact nobody mentions Skyros. Although I think the Journal of the Two Sisters, the actual published book, mentioned it. But I don't know if that counts. It also had some pretty big continuity issues. Now, if I'm seeing this right, this is scaled appropriately. But it goes below the sash? I'm not sure what the etiquette is. Let's bring it down anyway. Awards shouldn't be too big, otherwise they look like grandstanding. Blah, blah, blah. All right, getting some feedback. So, where were you? Trinary thinks that the whole Chosen One thing is a tad self-indulgent. The idea that there has to be a purpose, and of course, this character is chosen. They've got the best purpose. The canon G4 was that the TV show was pure canon and the comics were partly canon. Oh, very true, Pokemon Fire Eevee. Pokemon Fire Eevee does not consider the journal canon anymore, for the show went very different direction. It's true. I mean, Star Swirl's in the modern era now. Though I always wondered if if we subtly got hints that Star Swirl was still time traveling and changing things in little ways. The Star Swirl conspiracy, if you will. How did he go from a lesser known historical figure to the greatest wizard in equestrian history? How did he go from a shelf being named after him to an entire wing? A wing that just magically appeared in front of Twilight. Are you sure that isn't hints of temporal meddling? Do I have to get the time police on this guy? Cosmin Inspiro, you've been watching Star Trek Prodigy. My bud, the illustrious Q, was singing its praises in a call earlier. So, no spoilers, I ask of you, but did you enjoy it? That's the big thing. The Kentucky Derby. I'll get to the Kentucky Derby, champ, but until then... well, I've got a lot else going on, including my next video will be a study of rainbows throughout mythology in many different cultures. I've been reading up on that. I'm working on the script, and we'll see just what I can share with all of you. What fresh discoveries can I offer? Because it's quite fascinating what people have associated with rainbows over time. Points. By the way, how's the music for everyone? I want to make sure it's not I want to make sure it's not too bad, too loud, or too quiet. Sunshine and rainbows. Actually, okay, some folks were really terrified of rainbows. Usually it's a good sign, unless you're visited by the Greek goddess Iris. I believe it's for Iris and not Isis. Because if she showed up, you were in trouble. She was the messenger god that only delivered the bad news, which had to be hell on one's social life. So you deck her out in these beautiful colors. She's basically cloaked in rainbows, and she's here to tell you how today is just going to go south. In the worst possible way. It's like in Christianity, if an angel appears before you and says, "Be not afraid," be very afraid, because they are about to ask you to do something really tough. And if those biblically accurate angel designs are anything to be believed, I'd be afraid just on principle with all those eyeballs. Oh yes, Gojo Steel, the rainbow serpent. In many different cultures, but probably most famously amongst Australian native tribes from the dream time. There we go. Now Jakob's character is looking a bit more, shall we say, properly attired. The illustrious Q is in the chat. Be not afraid, for I bring tidings of great joy. Sure, but you're gonna to see that great joy, you've got to cross the desert and watch out for the Pharaoh's men, because they are, or watch out for the Romans, because they are out to kill this kid. So, you know, good and bad tidings there. Now then, we'll say Jakob's clothing choices do not easily translate into an OC. Where do you fit in all this, bucko? There we go. So many different looks to this guy. I mean, if you look at we've got 3 different examples of clothing, not all of which seem to agree with one another. But I will not worry. We just do the best we can and check and see what he thinks of it. So, down a little, over a little. Boop. Boo. Ah. You betrayed me. Let's see here. Renamon 565. I'm not sure who Charlie Morningstar. Who is Charlie Morningstar? Fictional character. Oh, from Has Been Hotel. Well, they certainly understand being different from everybody and having wild, sometimes unpopular ideas. Although I really do think, and I can't stress this enough, the fact that she's actually in hell might throw Sunny off for a little bit. I mean, let's be fair, hell comes with certain assumptions. Now, come on, work with me here. Whoop, whoop. Up and over and around. Color and no stroke. Aha! Here we go. Boop. Looking good, looking good. Let's see if we can duplicate this on the other side. Now, I believe Blue Griffin had another thought on Flurry Heart. Her being born in Adelcorn had something to do with the Crystal Heart. Ah, you know, I've actually got my own theory on Cadence and the Crystal Heart. Much has been made of the fact that Cadence is an orphan who never knew her parents, and yet she had this natural ability to influence others and emotionally, mostly to spread love, even when she was a Pegasi. This is, of course, assuming that the origin story from Twilight Sparkle and the Crystal Heart spell is true. How best to put it? I think that the Crystal Heart, when Sombra was taking over, knew it would need a new ruler because Amore, one way or another, was kaput with Sombra's coming. So it fired off a seed of itself, essentially, to grow and take form. And so Cadence is not born of a pony. She is born of the Crystal Heart itself. All right, people are correcting Pegasi is plural of Pegasus. Pegasus. But why are they always shady? Because they're Pegasus. Champ to stay. Where does her need for adrenaline come from? Hey, who knows? Maybe the Crystal Heart was just tired of floating there. So it made sure that its offspring would have a need for speed. Or it's just one of those things growing up. Just because a Pegasus was raised by Earth ponies doesn't mean that adrenaline need isn't there. Born to fly high. Now then, here we are. And here we are. Whoop. According to this, he still gets some sort of armbands. Same color. Yes, and Q is stating what we both believe. The idea that Princess Amori was shattered into a million pieces, but not dead. Think about that for a minute. You're shattered and unable to communicate with the world, but still stuck in a state of mostly dead. I swear, if anyone were to reassemble Amore, she might come back as a very broken individual. A princess of rage. Yeah, here we are. We'll just take these guys over, yeah. And just adjust this over, yeah. Enderpup, I am not familiar with this fixed TF2 petition. Normally, petitions on the internet, I find, go nowhere. Because one, they're meant to sample from a much larger population than, say, a street petition. Their numbers don't reflect, well, they just don't reflect as a big enough public opinion. So, what is this fixed TF2? And are we talking about the TF2 that the other reviewers are a part of? Or are we talking TF2... Okay, Enderpup, but what is this fix TF2? Okay, pardon me a sec. I'm just gonna fix TF2 petition. Okay. Alleviate the botting crisis. Aimbots need to go. Okay, all right, wow. So mostly it seems like getting rid of aimbots is the, and bots in general in the servers. Ironically, I remember the latest Battlefield had a lot of problems with having to bring in bots to keep the servers populated. I confess I don't know much about these because I don't play these games. I'm normally sucked into Destiny 2, and while I will certainly not claim that to be a, quote, superior game, the venting, the oh-so-toxic venting on the forums for Destiny 2 usually seems to be cathartic enough release for everybody. All right, let's just move you more out there into the red and brighten you up, shall we? Okay, there we are. There we go. Now we're looking a bit more regal, aren't we? Jakob von Tokar's OC is looking a bit more spiffy, I'd say. So saved, because I do not want to lose this. That would be quite bitter. And mostly dead is slightly alive, says Blue Griffin. Exactly right. Rodan asked the right question. What about TF3? I'm surprised they've never tried to, say, introduce a new game with some new members. But then sometimes you don't need a sequel if a game can stand the test of time. For the moment, I'm going to leave this as it is and see if Jakob likes what he sees. Does this griffin need more? We'll find out. Honestly, I'm just wondering how heavy that crown must be. Alrighty. Whew. Now then. And here we are, almost at the top of the hour. Is good success. Happy times. And we bring ourselves to the Aurora of the Griffins. But actually, I should also bring up, whoops, her... We're still getting used to this updated OS. Vector bases, objects. This is... Hey! Stop that. There we go. The Aurora Amulet. Champ to say, what is the greatest moment I've ever had at a convention? The greatest moment. You know, I don't have an answer for that because there have been a lot of moments that really were affirming and positive, and I don't want to rank them because that feels like it would cheapen them overall. Great moments at conventions are often when I get to learn about how my videos have perhaps helped someone, or how they've had an impact or perspective on someone, or I've managed to do something kind in just the right way to really help someone out. And there have been moments like that for which I'm grateful, but I'm not going to rank them because it's not a competition. Okay, what in the hoo-ha hey am I hearing from this here website now? This is pretty dang trippy. Let's see, MLP Disney Lover. Can some assets be exported as SVGs or Illustrator files for, let's say, making Flash animations? Well, I think you'd want to go with SVG over Illustrator, as a lot of the programs that used to make Flash animation now aren't really Adobe centered. But yes, while I have not really devoted a lot of time to getting these ready for Flash, and I need to do more training in Toon Boom's Harmony, you can bring these vectors in. Tornado, I don't know what music this is. I am kind of fascinated by how weird it sounds. I almost feel like this is so deceptively happy that at some moment, like a villain is going to burst through the door. I don't know. Maybe I'm just paranoid. Welcome, Infinite Warlock. Good to have you here. Cosminus, I've not yet finished the donut. I took some behind the scenes, everyone. I've had a lot of friends in trouble who've just been having a tough go at this, that, or the other thing, and I try to be there for them. But the trade-off is, well, how can I best put it? Mork from Orc, played by Robin Williams, said it best. If everybody wants a piece of you and you don't set a boundary, you'll find there's nothing left for yourself. And to that end, I took last Friday off to give myself a breather, only to have a lot to do and help with the following week. It's been crazy go nuts. I don't know if 2024 just has it in for people. One person suggested that because of 2020, all the other disasters had to take a number and wait a year or 3. I don't know if that's true, but I'd believe it. Now then, I face a challenge with this here hippogriff. This is the only image we have of Aurora, and it doesn't show her full body. Now, whatever's going on with her hair, mane, what have you, and all those flowers in it, that can take a vectoring session in and of itself. But let's see what happens with what I've done to research what appears to be a toga. Toga pare. Anyway. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Folks are saying, restart. That's the name of this song. I'm just wondering if I somehow got into chiptune, retro video game tunes. Nope, this is still happy EDM. Ah, well. Warlock, I'm afraid we talked about it a little earlier. My next video will be on rainbows and their appearances throughout mythology around the world and what people tend to think of them. Now, that means I have to paint with some rather broad brushstrokes, as there are nuances to any legend, including different interpretations and endings. Select same fill color. Hello, Phil. Boop. And let's see. Yeah, I'll say it. Same fill color. Let's make it that curious color around her wingtips. Maybe she's like Queen Novo? No, Novo had a pretty monochromatic wing. How about Skystar? Also monochromatic. Interesting. Now for the gradients in her eyes. The eyes have it. Select same fill color once again. Yes, 1, 2, 3, do, re, mi. Marvelous. And I'm on the gradient, so darkness will be this. I don't know why the painting seems to have inverted the colors. Usually they're darker at the top. Oops, nope. Select the same color again, same fill color. Well, that's not working so great. All right. Now, we're going to take this, we're going to add a little bit more red if I can help it. A bit more red down here, I should think. Maybe take away a little bit of the green. Really give her that reddish look. There we go. Now this one, she doesn't have the closed eyes, as in, like, right on the edge here with Queen Novo. This is the Queen Novo base model. But if I take this out, boom, much better. There we are. There we are. And got to fix those eyelashes. Alrighty. She's looking pretty good. Just want to fix, I'm going to say for her talons. We're going to, and her hooves. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. Ba-da-boom. And there we go. Oops, missed a few spots. Oh, I guess I played out the happy track. Oh. The female equivalent, as Mad Munchkin points out, to a toga is a stola. Well, I appreciate knowing that. Let's see, Warlock. Well, I'm going to mention Lightning Bliss and her love of rainbows. She's got a lot going on right now, so I am not going to antagonize her. Time and a place for all things. Yeah, there's so many little details in all these things. And I just drew a bunch of lines, but only put the, uh-oh. I need to move this to another level. There we are. Like I was saying, I made a bunch of little lines, but didn't set them to stroke, only to fill. There we are. There we are. And over here. Boop. Oh, we've got a good one. Champ to stay wondering if her clothes got stolen. Oh, Cage Black, you want to see if there's anything metal we can play for? Maybe we're done with chill and it's time for... Here, I've got headbanging mosh pit goodness. Only 15 minutes of it, but it's 5 tracks. There you go. Commence with the headbanging if it actually is truly metal. Right now, this doesn't sound terribly metal to me. This doesn't sound really metal. I always picture metal as more driving. Oh well. Trinary SWAT cats. The Radical Squadron. SWAT Cats was a good show, especially when it got a little even darker in the second season. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Here we go. This sounds more metal. Yes, I will accept this as more metal. Death Clock would approve. Maybe. I hesitate to think about what Death Clock would use to describe it because, well, their humor was very much steeped in the 90s, early 2000s. Very good, Mary Drake. Was I driven to reach that conclusion? Blue Griffin is out for Jackbox games. Nice. Well, I hope it's a fun time. There we are. And around here. Yep, these plants are definitely going to take up a good swath of time. Getting there though. Although, man, what kind of flower is that? This rose-ish one, even though it's not really a rose. Well, I'll do my best and hope people recognize it. Now this sounds angry metal. This is more like, I'm gonna scream angry. I'm gonna say something angry. I'm so very angry. Alrighty. Yeah, my greatest experience with metal has really been Metalocalypse. I have no idea how widely accepted they are within the actual metal scene. I would just always fondly remember the band, especially Toki Wartooth. So innocent, yet a harbinger of death. He will kill us all. What is this song's name? Let's see here. In Your Face by Morgan Sansos and Leo Valentin. No E at the end. Nada. But it's called In Your Face on pretzel.rocks. Let's see, I think I can get away with just copying this and shrinking it down a little. Maybe change the color. Boop. They're none the wiser. Okay, now this sounds like some kind of twisted puppet show. Or maybe, Twisted Metal. Yeah, with Sweet Tooth on the field. Here we go. Boom! Alrighty. Let's go 1.5. Yep. There we are, coming along. Hello, Dan the Warrior 101. Welcome. Maddie, was that really my first Let's See Here? I'm behind, but then I've been watching myself for it. Maybe I should just let it go and see how many Let's See Here's flow. Flow and try 3. Now then. There seems like there's some sort of stuff. That's weird. What is this that is covering everything up? Oh well. There we go. There we are again. Boop, boop. And combine. Whoops. Now. Whoop. Huh, son of a gun, I think I may have cleared up all the, all but one flower leaf on her head. Oh, I do beg your pardon. Nate wants to battle. Apparently that's a band? Who is this Nate, and who is he to demand battle from me? Whoopsie. There we go. And now we move on to this. Honestly, I don't know what it is. Hairpiece? It's not. Is it a mane? I mean, bird? Bird. I do not know. I am so confused. I'm just copying this because I need something to work with. Now I shall reduce the opacity. Reducing the opacity. And now I just need to tone down the colors a little. Maybe give them a bit of an arc. There we are. Much better. Hello, Dan the Warrior 101. Okay, crest. Maddie corrects me that it must be her crest. Ah, Parker Boots, you two are comforting friends. It's no small feat, but a good thing to do. Do I have a favorite fairy tale champ to stay? Well, I've heard a lot of good ones. Of course, some of the common ones, but one of the ones I liked most was The Boy and the Giant, as told through Jim Henson's The Storyteller. So, I can't give you a full recounting just right now. I need to remind myself of it with a good viewing. But in good time, yeah, that would be a good video too, just to talk about that one fairy tale. Although, looping back to the Chosen One discussion, there was another fairy tale about a seventh son of a seventh son who was hunted and persecuted by this emperor, or actually I think it was a czar. And at first, some people who reviewed it were quite disappointed. They thought, hey, it's just a Chosen One story. But then you realize the story isn't about the Chosen One, the seventh son. It's really about the Tsar who's trying to take him down, who's basically combating the will of the world and how much it costs him. Yep. Ready? I gotta do this opacity again. Woo. All right, so that's it for her crest as well. So we're going to move these over here. Kind of works. Got to move you in front of this one ear. Ooh. Let's see. Her eyebrows are not quite that... eyelashes, rather, are not that long. There we go. And she has a curious eyeshadow. Here we are. Right now it looks like she's just got a smudge on her eye. Okay, that music just ended rather odd. Let's bring down that eyelash, yes. Sorry, everyone, I think the day is catching up with me. My brain and my mouth are not communicating as they should. And at this point, I think it wiser really to just finish up on the left and flip it over to the right. Although, depending on... Well, let's put a pin in that, because I'm not quite there yet. Same stroke color. We're going to go with... Okay, that mostly fixes the problem. Except now I've got to make these black again. Excellent. Da-da-da! Yup. All right, now the harder part. Coloring the mouth. For you see. On the head-on, it works just fine. Yeah. Drag it down a little, drag it over a little. There you go. Bob's your uncle. But what about over here? I am required to improvise. Alrighty. Oh. Ah, apparently there was already a mask in place. Nice. Well, that makes my life a little easier. Now we're cooking with gas. Saving real quick. What is this one called? Cage Black 1443? Oh, this song you're asking about. The Bigger They Are from Drummer Boy. DRUMURBOY. Drummer Boy. Oh, and then we're back to Fastlane. That's the one we started with, I think. Let's see. What do we got by way of other channels? EDM, chiptune. Ooh, The Lounge. Ooh, industrial. Spooky, goth, and all things industrial. Let's just hear what Expedition by Edgard Jaude? Jaude. Yes, Grimwolf, I am still considering 3D printing. I just needed to get back to two-dimensional for a little bit. I'm still looking into 3D printing. I'm looking into, well, several ideas. I need to take a quick look at Queen Novo here. Yep. I wonder. Okay, that's why the colors work so well. It's because I'm copying from Queen Novo's design, and she already has the masks in place, which makes my life lots easier. Now then, because she's so similar, I'm going to group these up. Whoops. Hide the good queen. Oh, get rid of the Aurora amulet over there because we're just gonna flip what I've already done. That. Over here. Excellent. And, oh, Enderpup had to call it a night. I hope the power comes back. Alrighty, so over here we just need to change this. And in here the mask. There we are. Now this is the hard part. How do I flip what's below, what lies beneath? Well, not like that, that's for sure. There we are. 1, 2. Ah, still not good. What madness is this? Why am I denied? Hello, there are 2? There we are. Oh, once again. This is the hard thing with working with masks and when they create multicolor coats. Ooh, everything's so threatening. You have 5 minutes to finish this vector, otherwise the Scissor Man will come for you. There we go, there we go. Boop. Marvelous. Much better, I should say. Save again, because, oh boy, we're not doing that again. Tornado, I'm using a website called pretzel.rocks. So, pretzel.rocks, R-O-C-K-S. You have to sign up an account, but they're cool with you using their stuff on YouTube and Twitter. However, you may still have to deal with the YouTube copyright bot, which is more often than not very unhelpful. Zapstrad Gaming, you're going to call it a night after a long day. Well, I hope you have a good rest and a wonderful weekend. Until next time, take care. Same is true for Pokemon Fire Eevee. Oh. Yep, folks. I heard fireworks until 1:30 in the morning. At which point I think I did fall asleep, but It took a while. I get people's enthusiasm, but there's a reason why fireworks shouldn't be available to the mass public. I especially feel bad for dogs. My friend Advent Nebula brought his wonderful Ruby, who I dog sat at one point, over for our get-together last night. And Ruby refused to leave the safety of under the table because it was so loud out. All right, now, I had this design in mind for the clothing. I was still leaning into the toga thing. But as Maddie has educated me this evening, that is not what, if we're going for even semi-accurate, that's not what the Greeks would wear. Or the Romans. It was a stolen. Let's see here. I need to know. Greek fashion stolen. What did ancient Greek women wear? I need something that kind of looks like what Aurora is wearing, but I can't be totally sure. I'd like it to have a bit more personality than just simply being a draped vest. Stola. Thank you, Trinary. I was forgetting. I keep thinking Stolen. Greek Stola. Now we're talking. Actually, this is pretty safe, so I don't think I have to worry about exposing anyone to bad stuff. Tunica, stola, stolen. Stolan. Come on, give me a good... See, part of my frustration is these statues feature great looks, but there's so many folds I can't tell what's what. Because there are so many layers. Ooh, this statue might be my best option. Okay, so not very big, but that's okay. I just need the general idea. Stola. Thank you, thank you. And now I'll put those below the tunics. Because while they seem to be different, it all seems to be about folding things just the right way. And to make sure I don't have to rely on these, we will embed them. Increases the file size, but... Oh, Mary Drake, I can't afford to fold. Not just yet. But I also can't count my money when I'm sitting at the table. Which is a problem because I order through Amazon and eBay off here. I'll tell you, walking through the vending hall at the Denver Fan Expo, which is quite the vending hall, there were two things. One, I resent Funko Pops at this point. They take up so much space, and that's all there are at some vendors. Just Funko Pops, wall to wall. If you don't like Funko Pops, you're out of luck. If you don't like Funko, you're going to have a bad time. Man, I mean, all I got are this green. I wonder how much variety. Okay, one thing at a time. This is where experimentation must overcome intimidation. So, I don't like Funko Pops. We're just putting that out there. Too much of a certain thing. But then also a great many, not Legos, building blocks, but characters fashioned to resemble pop culture. They had Super Saiyans, they had knights, they had dwarves. No My Little Pony. I want to look into that. I want to look into correcting that. But I just thought, oh, that's quite interesting. But I was looking for figures of old, figures of recently released, but still hard to find, because I gotta say, without Toys R Us, I mean, Target and frickin' Walmart, sometimes they deliver on the goods, but it's not their main focus. Oh, for the days of TRU. Your kids today don't know what it was like. Okay, so not only are we attempting to create a stola that is acceptable, we must also understand. All right. So much of this character, Aurora. Wow, this is really frightening music. The Brickhead series, Enderpup? Maybe. Wait, Enderpup, I thought you went to bed. With the power outage. Yes, you have deceived me, Enderpup. But, to your point, quite possibly. Actually, I don't know if they were brickheads, but I was fascinated by their appearance. And I did manage to find some older figures that I'm quite happy, and I hope I can use in videos in the near future, but that comes later. That comes after I get this frickin'... Good Lord, where does this neck go? There we are. Ah, that's why. That's gonna be tricky. Can I move this below? This is getting hard. Layering can be such a frustrating affair. Oh, now it's angry. Oh, so angry. Alrighty, there's this. And this. Oh, truly such angry music. Da 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 da. Whoop, there we are. My watch is telling me it's time to stand. No chance, amigo. There's work to be done. There we are. So starting to look like her portrait. Kinda. Oh no, poor Enderpup. I've been in this. Their smoke detector is going off because, well, either the battery's off or the power outage. Ah, that's weak. That's just no fun. I'm sorry. It's weak sauce. Very weak sauce. Now then, I also faced that seems like the traditional thing for both men and women was to drape the cloth over one arm. All right, well, one thing at a time. We're gonna create a break in the cloth, whoops, to go around the legs. And let's take a look at the coloring on the, select same stroke color. There we go. When I said a break, thank you. Because at least one layer of a stola, I guess. I'm going by these two pictures, the blue here and the pink here. Because there's an outer cloth wrapping that confuses me greatly, to my frustration. And because I've only got green here, I'm assuming that's the first layer of the stola. But I feel like she'd have maybe a pink cloth wrapped around her for greater variety, or at least to offset. Stone statues don't give you much information, do they? Alrighty. So. We're gonna take this part. Let's see what happens if I loop it this way. Yep, as I feared. So let's put it underneath. Put you right. Yeah. Now, I want to double check something. We don't have a lot of options for dresses in the My Little Pony world, but I always rely on Suited for Success. Now then, is there a good group shot? Well, let's just cycle through. Again, I've got safe search on, so nothing to worry about on that score. But there's usually a divider. Yeah, a dividing line of some sort to help separate. Also, this didn't feature a lot of stuff covering their fronts. Whoop. Okay, there we go. So I should probably put some sort of secondary line around this. Let's do this. Right about there looks good. And then, so maybe have this stop right about here. And have another band. Yeah. Then I'll have that drape over the body. But first, add a little bit of a curve there because I don't think she wants to just look like a barrel. Oh, and also I'll need to just put a little mask. Okay, we're coming along. I've got the start of things at least. Up here, and then we'll make another and put it behind right there. And I'll just make that a standard stroke. Boop. Alrighty, we are just a few minutes from the top of the hour, and honestly, if I can just top this little bit off here. Hey, Again, layering is always a challenge. 2, 3. There we are. All right, that seems like a good stopping point for now. I'll have to add another layer. I'm thinking something bold. Okay, the pretzel rocks, I'm gonna fade you out for just a little bit. Mostly because you're sounding really dramatic. I mean, like, really dramatic. I am thinking of maybe a pink sash around the outside and looping over her foreclaw. Yes. And have that serve as another, well, maybe it can help cover up some of the other skirt issues. But basically, this lady's going to be dressed very high society because I assume she is a very prominent figure in hippogriff culture, especially history. Seth Moss, I can't really dictate my replacement on TF2 as who would be the heavy. All I can say is I hope they have fun doing it. That's the big thing. Yeah, there are plenty of dresses, Trinary, but not a lot of Greek dresses. That's part of the problem. And, well, I'll look through those episodes and we'll see what we can cook up. But for now, it's time to rest. It's time to enjoy an evening because this weekend I'll be covering race tracks for both days as they do their own celebrations of, what am I trying to say? The 4th of July. And it is quite the spectacle either way. But it's a good time. And, well, I have a weakness. Yeah, and you can make all the cannibalism comments you want, but I love me a turkey leg. Doesn't matter if it's at a Ren Fair or at a cuisine sampling or a racetrack. You put a turkey leg in my hand, I am going to devour that. Because I find it so very tasty. But everyone, I appreciate you hanging with me as we do a little drawing. And, well, I'll make progress on Aurora here. And we shall see what the future holds, artistically speaking. So, until next time, just have a great weekend. Enjoy and be safe and be well. I'm Silver-Quill. Thanks for watching.